finally October, finally. But October is going to fly by. Do you feel like the days are just slipping away from us? We have not enough time and so much content to watch. So I've decided to make a list, a guide, if you will, of the new releases coming out in October to watch in addition to your 31 days of Halloween. So first I'm going to talk about theatrical / VOD releases, and the big one is Halloween Kills. So this is coming out on October 15th, simultaneously in theaters and on Peacock, which I'm very excited about because I don't have to go to the theater. I can just watch it in my home alone like it was meant to be. I want to be in my own home with my dog bothering me while watching Halloween Kills, and maybe watch it another time with friends. Also, I think this would be a good drive-in movie because I saw Halloween 2018 at the drive-in and it was awesome. If you don't know, Halloween Kills is a follow-up to the David Gordon Green film from 2018, and it is centered around Laurie Strode, who is in the hospital, and I think she leads a vigilante group of Haddonfield to put a stop to Michael for good, but I have a feeling it's not gonna work. Then we have Antlers, which is coming out October 29th, and this is my most anticipated horror movie. I haven't heard anything about it, which makes me nervous, and I still feel like it's not really coming out, but I think it is. I think it's premiering at Fantastic Fest or something. So this is based on the short story The Quiet Boy by Nick and Tosca, and I implore you, I felt like I needed to say implore with a British accent, but I implore you to listen to the short story. It's free on Tor Nightfire, they have it on there. It is so chilling. The audiobook of that is so chilling. The sounds, oh my god. It is, okay, so let me tell you what the story is about. It centers on a teacher who basically, she suspects one of her students is being neglected. So she goes to his house and investigates, and she gets wrapped up in a mystery. That's all I'm gonna say, but it's crazy. And I'm excited for the movie to see how they adapt it. They turn this short story into a full-length film. I hope they leave some questions unanswered, but as Hollywood often does, that's not the case. They answer everything, and I like a little ambiguity, you know what I'm saying? Then we have Last Night in Soho, which is also coming out on October 29th, and this is the horror movie from Edgar Wright, and it centers on an aspiring fashion designer who somehow learns she can travel back in time to the 1960s, and she's like, she becomes a dazzling singer from that time or something. I don't know. It's still very mysterious to me, and I don't want to know, but I think some stuff goes on. Some killings are happening. It has been described as a Don't Look Now meets whatever, I don't know, but Don't Look Now is terrifying, and I love Don't Look Now, and I've talked about it in my grief and horror video, so this one looks like it's going to be a giallo-esque horror, so we'll see. I'm very excited, and I have faith in you, Edgar. I really do. Then we're gonna get into Shudder. Shudder has a lot of stuff coming out this month. They're doing their 61 Days of Horror. They have Elvira coming back in September, which is happening tonight as I record this, for her 40th anniversary. There's just so much on Shudder, and I love them for it. I'm still waiting for the new Gulag that's coming out this year. But for some of the new releases I'm excited about, we have VHS 1994, or VHS 94, which is premiering on October 6th. This is the 4th installment of the VHS anthology series. So this centers around a police force who discovers a new VHS tape. They launch a raid on a warehouse that is home to all these mysterious videotapes, I think. A lot of good directors lined up on this. I'm really excited. I have faith that it's gonna be fun, and I need more fun footage in my life. Then we have Joe Bob's Halloween Hoedown, which is premiering October 8th at 9 p.m. So this is the annual Halloween Hoedown where Joe, Bob, and Darcy have a Halloween movie marathon, which I'm excited for. I don't know what the movies are gonna be, but it doesn't matter. I love the community, the mutant fam that chats live during the show on Twitter. It's just so much fun. You feel truly like a community and like you're watching a movie with friends, and it's just a nice good time. So if you haven't watched any of the Joe Bob stuff, I highly recommend it. Then The Medium is premiering on October 14th. It's a horrifying story of a shaman's inheritance of the Asan region of Thailand. What could be possessing a family member might not be the goddess they make it out to be. So that sounds mysterious, and I like it. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. Then we have Horror Noir, which is premiering October 14th. This is a follow-up to Shudder's acclaimed 2019 horror noir documentary, A Black History of Horror, and it features new work from both established and emerging talents, and it will highlight 6 stories of Black horror. I'm excited to check it out. I love that they're highlighting new voices that I might not have heard of before. So then we have the Boulet Brothers Dragula Season 4. This is coming out October 19th, and this competition show will feature 10 new performers set to compete for the show's 4th drag super monster title. This show is a blast. I didn't catch Dragula until it was on Shudder. They had a Halloween special, I think last year, and it was just so much fun, and it was filled with so much heart and just amazing costume design, so I'm excited for this one. Then we're moving on to Netflix. So Netflix has a ton of stuff coming out. On October 1st, they have Fever Dream, which is a Spanish language horror about the haunting story of broken souls, toxins, looming environmental and spiritual catastrophes, and the ties that bind a parent to a child. This one sounds intense, and like I'm gonna cry. I like to cry, obviously. I don't know why I do this to myself, because in my mental state, I shouldn't be watching this emotional stuff that makes me really sad, but I'm going to, because I like punishment. Then we have The Guilty, which is also premiering October 1st. This is a thriller starring Jake Gyllenhaal as a 911 dispatcher who receives a terrifying call from a troubled individual, and he basically learns that it's up to him to save this person. I think this is a remake of an international horror. I don't remember the original, but I heard somebody raving about it on TikTok and said it's fantastic. I think it's a Danish horror film. So I love Jake Gyllenhaal, and I think Ethan Hawke is in it too. That duo? Yes. Yes. Then October 5th, we have Escape the Undertaker. This is a WWE film that is centered around the Undertaker and I think the New Day, where they're trying to escape his house. If you're a WWE fan, I think you're also a horror fan. It's kind of hard not to enjoy wrestling and horror films. They go so well together, I think. So this sounds like a fun Friday night blast that you can watch with your friends or your kids. Then we have October 6th, There's Someone Inside Your House. This is a movie that is following a group of high school students who are being targeted by a killer. This is based on the novel of the same name by Stephanie Perkins. The novel was very much described like a YA version of Scream, and the movie looks really interesting. I watched the first few minutes of the trailer and I thought it showed a little too much, so I stopped, but I'm excited to see this and see what they do with it. Then October 20th is the premiere of Night Teeth, lesbian vampire, Megan Fox and Sydney Sweeney. I mean, that's really all you need to know about it, but this is a story of a college student who picks up a seemingly innocent group of girls who were heading out on a night on the town, and then he learns that these girls have some dark intentions. They might be vampires. I think they're vampires, it's pretty obvious. I think he's gonna be their Renfield, you know? Which, talk about a dream job. Being the chauffeur for vampire Megan Fox, Sydney Sweeney, Debbie Ryan. Who else is in this movie? So many beautiful, beautiful people. Then is Hypnotic, which is premiering on October 27th. This is a horror story about a young woman who's seeking self-improvement and she goes to a hypnotist for help. This stars Kate Siegel, who you might know from The Haunting of Hill House and Midnight Mass, and I love her. I feel like everything she's in, she is so charming and so incredibly likable no matter what. So she's in this, I'm in this, I'm into it, okay? I'm gonna watch it. Now, we're moving on to Tubi. So Tubi, if you have never watched Tubi, you need to, because Tubi is free, and I am obsessed with it because it honestly has a shocking amount of horror movies. There's a lot of shit horror movies on here, but there's a lot of good ones too. It's just fantastic, and I'm discovering horror movies I never would have. It almost feels like I'm in the video store when I'm browsing on Tubi. So this year they just announced they're doing Terror on Tubi, so they have some original programming coming out, which I think is really interesting. First is Meet, Marry, Murder, which is premiering on October 6th. This is a 13-part true crime series, which is hosted and executive produced by Michelle Trachtenberg, who you might know from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It explores true stories of people who were murdered by their partners. We just love that, don't we? We just love to make dating even more terrifying. I would like to see fictional murders not real life stuff that is gonna terrify me, but I love true crime. So then we have Famously Haunted Amityville, which is premiering on October 15th. When an infamous Amityville killer Ronnie DeFeo died behind bars this year, social media blew up with a new wave of armchair detectives and paranormal experts obsessed with the real-life horror story that shattered this sleepy Long Island village nearly 50 years ago. Now, just in time for Halloween, from Fox Entertainment comes Famously Haunted Amityville, a fresh look at how 6 shocking murders spawned one of the most terrifying ghost stories in American history. I'm into it. I feel like they've played out Amityville so much, but I'm a sucker for it, and I'll watch whatever they give me on it. Then we have Celebrity Exorcism, which is premiering October 22nd. This sounds interesting. Oh, it's a movie. Oh, thank God. I thought this was gonna be like an actual exorcism done on TV or something. I don't really know. So this stars Jodie Sweetin from Full House, Shar Jackson from Moesha, and Meta World Peace. She's an NBA champion all-star. And they come together for a good old-fashioned fright fest. With the help of an acclaimed exorcist, the team of brave celebrities. Oh, this isn't a movie, this is a reality show. This team of brave celebrities enrolls in a paranormal boot camp like we've never seen before, journeying to exorcise an iconic haunted location. Do you dare join them? Heck yes, I do. I think this is gonna be so bad, but so good. Count me in, please. Then we have Harland Manor, which is premiering October 29th. This is a movie. It's directed by the director of Exorcism of Molly Hartley and I Spit on Your Grave. It's about a team of paranormal investigators who document the haunted Harland Manor, only to find themselves hunted by the malevolent ghost that still dwells there. I mean, you can't enter a haunted manor that's famously haunted and not expect to be haunted. So that's what they get. And then for the other platforms, Disney Plus, I will put an image on the screen, but they have an incredible lineup, and there's just a ton of things that I'm excited about, like the Disney Channel original movies Under Wraps. They just did the remake. Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is my absolute favorite. Mr. Boogedy, Halloween Town, you can't go wrong there. And then October 13th is the premiere of R.L. Stein's newest series, Just Beyond. Then Freeform also has an amazing lineup this year where they are including the Fright Night remake from 2011. That is the Freeform premiere. And Alien, and Ghostbusters, along with the daily playing of Hocus Pocus, which is just vital in Halloween season. I don't think you need to watch it every day, but just to have it on the TV while you're doing stuff, it's so comforting. Then AMC Fear Fest is going to be all October long this year, and it includes the premiere of Eli Roth's History of Horror Season 3, premiering October 1st. I really love that show. I think that they explore some interesting themes and films, and I've learned so much about movies and movies that I haven't seen before, so that's one of the main reasons I love it. And I think they have a great guest of industry people for interviews that give their insights. I love it. I think it's just so well done, and it gives me Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments vibes, but just to a lesser extent, and I miss that show so much. I used to love that, rewatching it every year. It's on YouTube if you ever want to watch it, but I just love people in the movie industry talking about horror movies and giving me insights that I never would have got otherwise. Then on Amazon Prime is the premiere of The Manor, which is the newest installment in the Welcome to the Blumhouse series from director Axel Carolyn. This film stars Barbara Hershey as a woman who moves into a historic nursing home after suffering a stroke. Barlow's barking. And she begins to suspect that there's something paranormal, supernatural, preying on the residents. I love this idea. It gives me Bubba Hotep vibes, but more serious. And I just love the setting of a nursing home. I feel like the nursing home setting is just terrifying in itself and sad and depressing, so making it a horror setting it doesn't seem that far-fetched or hard to believe. So I'm really excited to see this, and I really like Axel Carolyn. I really like her work, and I love seeing badass women coming out with horror movies. Then on USA and Sci-Fi is the new premiere of the new Chucky TV series, which is premiering October 12th. This gives us Brad Dourif is back as the voice of Chucky. Jennifer Tilly will return. The story centers around Jake Wheeler, a teen boy who encounters Chucky during a yard sale. And there you have it. Those are all the upcoming horror releases that are happening in the month of October. There's a lot. I don't know how we can get it all in, but we can try. What are you most excited about watching? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, happy Halloween, guys. Happy Halloween. It's here. It is here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time.